Hello and welcome to this webinar. My name is Tamara and I will show you what Google wants and what your visitors deserve. I will take you behind the scenes of effective website copy and I will show you what makes words work. In this webinar, you will learn how to optimize your landing pages so that they don't only look good, but they will also be found by Google. Whether you're starting from scratch or you already have some experience with SEO, I promise you walk away with some fresh ideas and with practical tips for your website. Before we dive into tools and into techniques, let me show you what SEO really means in action and why it matters. Here's something important to understand right from the beginning. Google doesn't necessarily show you the most accurate or expert content first. It shows you the content which is best optimized. If your website isn't optimized, it stays invisible, no matter how great your offer is or how good your content is. Well, first of all, who am I? I'm a senior copywriter and I'm an author. And as a copywriter, I wrote copy for universities, for Suzuki Marine, yes, that's for boat engines, and also for small and medium-sized enterprises, as well as editorial content for magazines. And as an author, I do write books for children and for young adults, and also scripts for film. So why am I telling you this? Well, because writing for the web, that doesn't just mean putting the right keywords in the right places. Of course, it matters and structure matters and SEO matters, but it's more than this. What really makes content work is how well it connects to the readers. And that's where storytelling comes in. Let me explain now what's in it for you. In this webinar, you will get exactly what you need to make your website more visible and more convincing. And I'll show you how structure and how storytelling work to guide your visitors. Plus, you will get real examples and practical tips which you can use right away. So let's get started. What is SEO and why should you care about it? SEO means search engine optimization, and it is the practice of improving your website so that it appears in the search results when people are looking for what you offer. Well, what do you think is the most important part of this sentence? It's when people are looking for what you offer. Because you want the right people to find you in the exact moment they are looking for what you offer. And that's why you need a smart keyword strategy. Think of your content like a dish in a nice restaurant. The keywords are the ingredients and they give flavor and relevance. But great ingredients alone aren't enough. SEO is your service stuff. It doesn't just carry out your message, it delivers your message to the right people. And it places it exactly in front of them in the moment they are ready to get served. So what does SEO really consists of? Let's break it down. SEO has three key components. It's technical SEO, it's off-page SEO, and it's on-page SEO. Today we will focus on on-page SEO, but to give you a full picture, here's a quick overview of the others. Technical SEO, that's the backend stuff. It's site speed, it's mobile friendliness, which is super important nowadays. It's indexing and crawlability. This makes sure that your website is fast, accessible, and also visible to search engines. Off-page SEO is everything that happens beyond your own website. It's how you build authority. It's getting listed, getting mentioned, or publishing guest content on other platforms. And then there's the magic word, backlinks. They are actually more important than a lot of people think because they tell Google others trust this page, so you should too. If your school is listed on a partner's page, I highly recommend that you link back to them because that connection really strengthens both sides. So we finally made it to on-page SEO, and I always recommend to start with this component. And here is why. Your content is the foundation of everything else. If your structure and if your keywords aren't clear, then no amount of backlinks or technical fixes will help you rank. So in short, if there's no good content, there's no good ranking. Always start with a smart keyword strategy. It means finding the real search terms, the ones your audience really uses, and understanding search volume and competition. Let's go for a deep dive.
So now let's take a closer look at keywords with real examples. I am using the Google Ads tool, and it's the keyword planner within the Google Ads tool is for free, because as long as you don't actually run campaigns, you can use it without spending any cent. And you can see it here on the sidebar. There's tools, and if we click on tools, you will see the keyword planner here. And now we will start our deep dive. First of all, what are keywords? Keywords are the words people type into search engines. Usually at the moment they are actively looking for a solution, and often with real purchase intent. And please think about your own searches, because you don't type full grammatically correct sentences. Most of the time it's 2, 3, maybe 4 words strung together. And before I type in the first keywords, there's one important thing I'd like to share with you, because search engines don't rank websites as a whole. They rank each page individually. So yes, it absolutely makes sense to create a dedicated page in German for Bildungsurlaub, because people will search differently. Even if the rest of your website is in English, your landing page for Bildungsurlaub should speak the language of your German audience. That's really my recommendation, because it will help you to connect with your audience. Plus you will tap into a higher search volume, and that's what I will show you next. So as you know, I do the landing pages for Thomas, and Thomas asked me to do the landing page for the Bildungsurlaub in Portugal for the country, and of course it's about Portuguese language. So as I said, in Thomas' case, of course, it's clear that it is in German because it's a German company. But still, even if you have a language school in a non-German speaking country, I recommend you to do it in German for the reasons I mentioned before. And now the first thing we start with is always what could the keywords be, and they should be super specific. So as I said, in Thomas' case it was for Portugal, Bildungsurlaub and Portuguese language. So let's start with Bildungsurlaub, Portugiesisch Portugal, and let's see what happens. We might need it later, that's why I copy it. Los geht's. My service is in German because I'm a German copywriter, but of course you can also find it in your language. So this is the keyword I typed in, and as you can see, it doesn't make any difference if you use capital letters or you write it just like this. The first values are important for us up to here. In this case, we actually don't get any information, but I show you soon what you can do if this shows up. But let me explain you the values. This is the average search requests a month. These are the changes within the last 3 months, and these are the changes within the last year. And the competition. When you hover here, you can see that there opens a window to get even more detailed information about the values. But why these values are important to us, I will show you in the next step. If you don't get with your search request, you don't get any information here, you go to the keyword ideas, suggestions, you click there, and then you can type your keyword. You can even type more than just one. You could add other keywords, but this is the most specific and the one we would like to go for. And then you go on Ergebnisse anzeigen. And here you can see, okay, this is the one von Ihnen eingegebene Begriffe. These are the keywords we typed in. Usually on this one, if you hover, you can see it when the window opens, but it doesn't work with every keyword. The suggestions, for example, it doesn't work. So the one we were looking at has a search volume, a monthly search volume of 0 to 10 searches, which is, yeah, let's say it's okay, but if you have a lot of months with only 0 search intentions, that's really not good. There are no changes within the last 3 months or within the last year, and there is no information about competition, so which actually indicates that it's not quite a good keyword. This is a keyword suggestion, and you can copy it there and open it in a different window or on a different document, so to see what the tool suggests. It is Bildungsurlaub Lissabon, I know that already. So you can see the search volume is good because it's 10 to 100, which is really nice to work with, because these would be or should be 10 people at least, up to 100, who are really interested in buying. And these are good values, that there weren't a lot of changes within the last month or in the last year. But I'll show you later on in another example what you could see here. And this is about the competition. It's Mitte, that means medium. Medium is okay. Low, niedrig is very good. I actually recommend to not use keywords which have a high competition, because that's not realistic that you can make it on page 1. So if you see that the competition is high, most probably you can only make it on page 1 if you pay for a campaign, and that's something we try to avoid. Okay, so we know our keyword has a search volume of 0 to 10 a month, which we should try to increase. So we use the keyword planner. As I said, we need to be as specific as we can. Ah yeah, that was the Lissabon, which we don't use because it doesn't make any sense. It's a better search volume, but we are actually placing the landing page for Portugal, not specifically for Lissabon. So if people search for Lissabon and then they see your copy, your landing page, and then they realize that it's just about Portugal, they will leave it as soon as they can. So that's never a good option, to go for a keyword which has a higher search volume, but when you know exactly that you won't meet the expectations of your website visitors. But I'll show you a trick. We have Bildungsurlaub, Portugiesisch, Portugal, which would be the best option for a keyword, specific and really the best keyword for your audience. But if we remove Portuguese, the language, we have Bildungsurlaub and we have the country. Bildungsurlaub Portugal, that's something German-speaking people would search. We remove the language, it's still Bildungsurlaub Portugal, and most cases that should really cover the language Portuguese, and so it's really a very good alternative for our keywords. And now let's see what happens. Wow, this is our keyword. It doesn't pop up now, but it's exactly what we typed in, and we have a search volume of 100 to 1000 people every month searching exactly for that keyword, and it's really a very, very good choice to go for. And you can see there are no changes within the last 3 months, no changes, bigger changes within the last year. Plus the competition is medium, which I would really say is the winner. So now I will show you what wrong keywords are. As I mentioned already, we always look at the search volume, we look at the competition and alternatives. And even if you have good search volume, it's always good to just check 2 or 3 or 4 alternatives, because you might find even a better keyword for your landing page. And you should also pay attention to changes within the last month or the last year. And I will now show you why this is important. So I chose Bildungsurlaub England because I know that it's a very good example. Los geht's. We see what happens. Okay, we have Bildungsurlaub England, which has a very good search volume. It's 100 to 1000 searches or search intentions a month. But there was a decrease of 90% within the last 3 months, the last year, which actually is, you could say, okay, decrease, but it's still high. So the chances that it will increase there. So which actually could make it a good keyword, but let's look at the competition. The competition is high. So only by looking at the competition, I would already recommend not to try this keyword and look for a good alternative. And I will show you now another wrong keyword, which you might think is a good choice, but I'll explain you why it's not. So it's Sprachreise England, it's language trip England, because we could say, it's actually it's quite similar to Bildungsurlaub. So Bildungsurlaub is a Sprachreise, though it is more specific. We will see what the search volume says. It's 1000 to 10,000 people interested in Sprachreise England a month. It has no major changes within the last 3 months or major changes within the last year, and the competition is medium. It seems as if it is the perfect keyword, but why is it not? Let me explain. If someone expects a relaxed holiday course and lands on a 30-hour intensive training, you can be very sure that this person will leave your landing page soon. So here's the bottom line. We always compare a few options because even small differences can have a big impact, but in the end it is always about the question, are these the words someone with real buying intent in what I have to offer would type in? And in this case there is such a high risk that somebody really doesn't look for an intensive course and he lands on your landing page just to leave it. So there's no win-win, it's actually a lose-lose situation. The goal is not to attract just anyone, it's to bring in the right people at exactly the right moment. These are people who are ready to take actions and who are just waiting for the right offer. So let's finish our keywords deep dive.
So now that we've done the deep dive with the Google Ads Keyword Planner, let's bring it all together before we move on to storytelling. Now it's time to become real on-page SEO experts. Place your keyword in the URL. Why is that important? Because it helps search engines and users to understand what your page is about. Keep your URL short and clear, because short URLs, they rank better and it's easier to share them. Add your keyword to the meta title. What is the meta title? If you use a search engine, then you will see the result page, and then on the result page you will see like the blue headlines which you can click on, and this is the meta title. And best practice is to put your keyword as close to the beginning as possible. Use your keyword in the main headline, so in the H1 headline. Your main headline should match search intent. Include your keywords in the first 100 to 150 words. Early mentions help both users and your website visitors to understand your content fast. Optimize your images. Unfortunately, search engines can't see images. That's why you should use descriptive alt text in which you should use your keywords, especially for the first image. Use synonyms and related terms. Please avoid keyword stuffing because search engines really don't like that. Instead, you should use variations like Bildungszeit or Bildungsfreistellung because this is also a way to rank for other related searches. Link to external sources. Add links to your partners because search engines see this as a quality signal. Add internal links. Link to 2 to 5 other pages on your website because it gives helpful context to search engines. And the last one is our bonus. It's structure your content clearly. Structure is often seen as technical SEO, which is also right, but it's as much on-page SEO and user experience. And here's why. A clear heading hierarchy doesn't just help search engines, it helps your visitors quickly understand where they are, what's important, and what comes next. Your headlines should guide your audience. So please give them instant orientation and lead them step by step through your landing page. And this is where structure meets storytelling. Imagine a waiter leaving the kitchen with your fine meal, heading to the front entrance, then heading to some random tables, stopping at the restrooms before he arrives with a probably cold meal at your table. That's not really 5-star service, is it? And that's exactly what poor structure feels like on a website. Your content should take readers A to B in the most elegant, most helpful, and most direct way possible. Great SEO brings people to your page, but only great stories make them stay, trust, and buy. So getting found is only one step. Without good storytelling, you won't stand out and people will just scroll past. Without originality and storytelling and structure, it's like walking into a beautiful restaurant and then being served really horrible food. So please don't sound generic on your website. I recommend that you use mini stories or you let real people tell a story. If you want to turn website visitors into real clients, you will need all of these. SEO, great storytelling, and a clear structure. It is not either or. It is the mix that makes the magic. And there's a secret ingredient that I will share with you right now. Trust. Everything can look great, but if people feel they can't really trust you, then they will never buy from you. So don't forget to leave reviews for your partners. Even if it's just one single sentence and 5 stars, that really makes a huge difference because people notice patterns. Well, we're getting to the end, so I'll show you the ideal structure for your landing page. I guess you figured it out by now. I am strong with words, but I'm not strong with design. My apologies. You can't fix what you can't see. That's why I offer a clear, honest look at your website. You can book until May 11th. For booking, just send me an email with the subject line Easter Challenge. As a special offer, you will get your order for 35 euros instead of 40 euros. And if you have or you need a German landing page, please feel free to reach out for a first consultation. I hope you've enjoyed this webinar, and if you like it, I would highly appreciate it if you followed my social media accounts on Instagram, Facebook, or on YouTube.